Okay, I think I can share my screen. I'm just going to share my entire screen because I don't know how to do anything else. so, and hopefully we're in a good place so you can see my screen. So today I decided that I wanted to show you how to basically create a 3D model in Pacdora, which is what I use. And I feel like it's a really easy tool to use for 3D design, especially if you're just starting out, if you're starting something and you're just trying to figure it out. So anyways, basically Pacdora has all of these available models that you can use. And once you create one, you can show you how I created this. This is our end product. And so let me get started. And I'm basically going to walk myself backwards. So anyways, this is the 3D model. When you come into Pacdora, you will see that there's all different kinds of things that you can design: books, packaging, just all different kinds of things. For this exercise, I want to show you how I created this book cover because this is something that I'm going to use for my portfolio. So anyways, if I'm just starting out, I would go look in the mock-up section and find the 6x9 book cover. And then I would click it and basically come into it. When I come into it, it's going to show me, it's going to show me this right here, color, but it does give you the dimensions of what you need. So it tells you that it needs to be 140 millimeters, about 200 millimeters this side. And then it tells you that the spine of the book, which you can come over here and turn this, it will tell you those dimensions as well. And then obviously the front is just a duplication of the back. So what I did was I came over to Canva and I basically created artwork for my book. And so this is what that looks like. If I came into Canva and did this on my own, I would just come over to create and I would say custom size. I think it's 6 inches by 9 inches. So I'm going to go 6 by 9 inches. And I'm going to create a new design. Now, Canva already comes up with, options for your designs. So it'll automatically populate this with things that it suggests for you. But if you don't know what you want, you can come in here and you can just type in book cover and you will see it gives you all of these like really cool designs. So, you can do like a coloring book, you can do a superhero book, you can do just about anything you want. So if I'm creating this, that is just the front of the book. Like, in other words, if I were to export this, I would only have just the artwork for the front of the book. So if I want to create, sorry, that's my dog walking around. If I want to create the spine of the book, I have to create a different, what's called an artboard in Canva. And artboards are something that's also in Photoshop, and I can show that in another live video. But it's basically the same concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I can click this plus button. If I click the plus button, it's going to basically duplicate the same size as this right here. So if I click this, it's going to create another page that's the same size, like I said. And so I can come over here to the design, and because I'm already into this particular artboard or whatever, I can pick another thing for the back of the book if I want to, that's different from the front, whatever it might be. And they have lots of different little ideas. I like that one actually. And then if you need to go backwards, you just hit the back button. Like if I want to go back here, I can go backwards or I can go forwards, or I can create this little, I like that. That's really pretty. As the back of the book. But okay, here's where it's a new thing that Canva added to their abilities. So if I want to create the spine of the book, I need to have something that is what I said. I need to have something that's 40 millimeters wide. So what I'm going to do is come in here. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to create a new thing. Now, what I have to do is I have to hit this plus or this little ellipse over here. and I have to do custom size, I have to tell it millimeters. So the width is what, 40 by, what do we say, 200 by 200. All right, now I create the new page. So there's my spine. So basically I can come in here, I can create, whatever I want for the artwork to be in the spine of the book. Typically, obviously that's got to be turned sideways. So this is my example. So I just typed, text, and then I turned it sideways in Canva. Now I'm going to close this because I don't need that anymore. If I want to export this for use in this program, I'm going to click the share button over here, and then I'm going to click download. I can select whichever pages in my presentation that I actually want it to download. So in this example, because I did 2 books, I basically duplicated the front twice. So I have 2 fronts that say 2 different things, right? And then I have 2 spines that say different things. And then I have 2 backs of the books that say different things also. So anyways, once I'm ready to export that, I'm going to click this button. I'm going to click download, and then I'm going to select whatever pages I want it to download. And then because I need it to be the art for the book cover, I'm going to make sure I select JPEG. And then for the quality, I typically bring it all the way up just to be sure. And I would select whichever size I want to do. All right, so then I'm going to click the done button, and then I'm going to click download. And so now I'm going to have my book covers. Now I've already done this exercise. So basically I'm going to come back into this and I'm going to click them. Wrong exercise. I'm going to click this right here, and it's going to put this on the front of the book. And you'll see that die lines are never exactly right. And I say die lines, that's what it's called in design. And so they give you kind of a rough estimate, but they tend to be off. And so you can just adjust it like this as needed. So now I have my book cover in there. Alrighty, and then I'm going to click this button right here to add the spine of this book. And I've got it like this. And then I've got the back that now I can place on here. Sorry, my mower guy decided to come tonight very late, so he's here and my dog's going crazy. All right. Anyways, I'm going to hit save once I'm ready. Now, because these die lines are kind of off sometimes, it's good to go ahead in here and choose a package color, which I did. It automatically picks up colors from the artwork that I've uploaded. So here it's got this little, color picker or whatever, and I can just choose whichever color. But you can see where it's adding it. It's adding it behind the graphics because it's doing that in case I don't have anything here, right? So I'm going to make sure that clicks something attractive so that it blends in. And then I'm going to hit save. So now my book is 3D. You'll see it. I can spin it around. I can do all the different things to it. Sometimes you'll see that you need to make adjustments. And when you do, you just come in here and you click the adjust image. And I'm just going to push this up a little bit more so that it looks better. And then I want to hit save again. All right. So now it's in there just like that. And it's 3D. Isn't that so awesome? Now, I thought I was done when I got to this point of my creation process. So, but I'm not. So to finish this, I need to make sure that I have a background. They do have some AI options in here. I don't particularly care for them. So what I did was and here's one thing. I'll stop here. You can actually pick a color that they have in here. They have some gradients in here, which the gradients are things where you have a start and end color, like you can see at the top of the light blue, and then it fades image on a graphic design website. And I downloaded it, and then I adjusted the colors to it. I can show that maybe in a different video. But anyways, this is what it looks like. So I have this picture. I liked it because it has the lighting like already embedded in the picture. I will tell you that if you search on these graphic design websites for like product backgrounds and things like that, it will come up with already placed elements into the scene, and that is not going to work very well for what we're trying to do. So I can show that to you in another video probably. But anyways, I'm just going to click open, and now I have this beautiful. I have this saved, so this is forever in this software. It is a 3D model of this book. I can, you say you want it to export with the floor shadow. You select whether you want it to be a PNG or a JPEG. Typically, I pick JPEG. Then down here, you can do your ratios. So for social media, obviously, this is the most important size that you'll do. To zoom out, I'm using 2 fingers to press in or out on my mouse pad. You can use your roller ball if you have a mouse. That's how you would do that. But anyways, you can it to be, and then you just click render and export whenever you're done. One of the best things that I like about this program is that it has videos that you can export, and they're already pre-designed. You don't have to learn Blender. You don't have to do any of that. It's already built into the software. So I can already tell you, they have all these different ones that you can pick from. I can already tell you that I tend to like the ones at the end. And then it does this. I really like that too. And then for each one of these videos, I just click this download button, your ratio, like how wide you want your screen to be or how small you want your screen. And then I just click export whenever I'm ready. So that is one step of things. So basically what we've done so far is we've designed the cover, the spine, and the back of the book. We've exported all of those graphics. Then we put them into here and we created our 3D model. From there, we exported just a picture of just the book with this background. The videos so that you can download the videos for marketing purposes too. We can take it a step further. If you want to actually make this an advertising image for, like, most of the time for magazines or something like that, like more sophisticated, you're going to click this 3D design button, and I will show you where we're going with this. This is basically the scene that I created with this. Click 3D design, and it's going to bring this into a new scene. Really, really good. You will still find that they need adjustments. So I'll show you an example. They have different ones like this. You can click. It's upside down. We'll talk about that in a minute for some of my marketing purposes. They have this one, which I've played around with this one a lot. It's really fun. Anyways, it's a bunch of copies of the book, kind of as a render or whatever. But anyways, you can just click these different ones until you find one that you want to play with. But just for the purposes of me showing, I click this one because this is the one that I used before. Okay, now, right away, I showed you there's something wrong. This book cover is upside down. So I need to flip that, and I'm just going to pick this right button or this right wheel or axis, and then I'm just going to flip it around, and then I'm going to push this blue. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. And you just hover over these different ones to figure out what are the different tools that it's, or the different positions that it's putting this thing into. The interior buttons are for scaling. So if way up, it's going to make this book really, really big. If I click it and just bring it back down, it's going to make it more normal. More normal for people. Okay. And then if I click these other buttons, it basically does the same thing. So I'm going to flip this book around again by clicking this little wheel and dragging it around. Oh, wait, hold on. I went too far. Whoop. And it does kind of pop into place, which is really nice. So you just kind of wait till you feel it, and then it'll click and all that. So anyways, so now this is good, but I still need to position this right? Because I can't see that side of that cover over there. So basically I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make sure I rotate that around a little bit. Then I'm going to push it back. Just like this. I'm just playing around with it until I'm happy with how this looks. And I can just click and drag. And if I click this button in the middle, it'll actually give me the ability to like free ball it. I don't know a better way to say that, but like just basically pick like whatever you want. And so you can do that. Now, I tend to like the controls because I like to keep things the way that I like them. But anyways, you can do that if you want to. Anyways, so come in here. And I've kind of got it like how I want it. All right, but this is kind of bland. Like, right? Like, okay, you've got 3 books stacked up there. What to do? I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to click the back button. And I can basically create these. I have all the models that I've already created are in here. So if I click the models, I have like a shirt that I designed. I have this other book that I designed. If I click it, it's going to put it in the scene. So this is another book that I was working on. And so if I do that, it's just going to place that in the scene. I can turn it around and do that if you want. Anyways, if I want to remove it from the scene, I just click it and then hit delete. Alrighty. Like I said, I have all these other things that I've designed, including shirts and all kinds of stuff. But for the purposes of this, I want to show you some of the products that I have created. So this is a book that I'm trying to market. And so I'm going to click to the top. So basically you're seeing the book come in and out of the plane. That's why it gets hidden. So like if it goes down too low, it's basically under the plane or the base, if you will, of the scene. So anyways, I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Yeah, maybe do it like that. I'm starting to sound like Bob Ross. A little tree, a little happy tree. Okay, so now it's in my scene, right? Okay, that's kind of good. I like it. You'll see me play around with this about 100 times because I like to get it just so. But anyway, so now I have that in the scene. So I can also create and put other things in the scene. So I'm going to come over here, click elements, and there's all these like really pretty elements that you can put in here that make it look really feminine and nice. So I'm going to click that flower. Now, where'd it go? I clicked it. It's not there. So point in the scene where basically if you click anything, it's going to stay in here and be in here. So anyways, I'm going to click this and I kind of see it hidden over here and I'm just going to click it and bring it forward. Yep. All right, and then I'm going to put it down right there and make it look really pretty. kind of enhance everything. Okay. Then I'm going to click one really popular thing for like makeup and any kind of like small product that is advertised is these like branches that you see. And I will show you what I mean. So I click this, I'm going to put it in the scene. And you're going to say, what the heck are you doing? It is a branch, but there's a reason. Okay, so I'm going to scale it way up. So you start to get to see like that reflection on this material here. So that's why it kind of starts to get funky looking like that. So anyways, I'm going to click this and turn it around so that it gets that real pretty shadow. And I'm going to put it back in like this. Do this. All right. So now that looks really nice. I've got some realistic shadows. It gives some depth to what I'm trying to accomplish here. It looks really nice. They have some predefined, plants and things like that are really cool that you can put in the scene. I like to use this cotton, or I like this one right here too. It's really pretty. So I'm going to click this one, push it over right here. So it's kind of like right beside everything. Now, what is neat is that I can actually change the color of these flowers if I want to. If I click it and I click materials, I can change the color of the vase, like kind of a dark gray, like that. And then I'm going to change the flowers to something that is, oh wait, this is a branch. Sorry. This is a branch. I'm going to make that be black too, kind of like a gray. All right. And then here I'm going to change these little flowers to be something that is like how that looks. Okay. So now things, and I have done a lot of that. So there's some really neat little things with decorations that you can do, like with coffee cups and things like that. Let me show you. Right here, I will show you. I'll put this in the scene, and you'll see it has reflective properties. So once you start putting reflective things into your scene, you're going to see that little reflections start to happen all over, and it gets really funky if you don't intend for that to be the case. So, anyways, I'm going to come in here and click. It is under tableware, I think. Tableware. All right, and I'm going to click and put a coffee cup in here. Be like, and bring it forward. All right. All right, now I'm just going to move it over here so it looks natural. Now, wait a minute. That is so huge. So let's bring it down a smidge, make it look natural. All right. Now, for advertising purposes, obviously, I don't want it to block the name of the book. Weird white color, which I should have changed actually, which I can change. So I can just click this around and do that. And again, you can change the color of the coffee if I want it to be this. I can now change the spoon to be black. I can change, and that's the reason why I keep getting that error. But anyways, you can change all the different elements of your scene however you like. And once you are ready to as a image for marketing purposes, you come up here to super render, and it's going to come up with some options. And again, you can say, do you want it to export with the floor shadow or not? That's an option. So the floor shadow is that tree branch that's kind of in the back that I've got in there. You can do it as a 2K or 4K, however you want, and then just click render and export, and then you have your image. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next time. This is a good test run. So I hope you have a great day. Oh, I do need to show you. Okay, so multiple things downloading. Like a lot of times when I'm designing this, exporting, I'll twist it a certain way and I'll export it like that and I'll twist. So you can do up to 3 exports at a time, and it will continue to do it even if I close the tab. So if I close this tab, you'll have Pacdora open. It's going to basically continue to render until I'm done with that. So anyways, I'm going to click super render, and again, it gives you the options of the ratios too that you can pick from. But now you'll see it. It's in the exporting process, and you will see that I have it downloading. So now I've got like all these little cool videos of my book that's been exported. I have that scene. I actually created a ball cap in the program, and so I did that too, and I exported that. I've done all kinds of things. These are packaging that I've done for my preset collection that I've created, and I can show you some of these. So this is a whole scene that I created earlier today where I have the book tipped over. I have some branches. I have some flower petals, all of that. It's really fun. I enjoy doing this. There's some book things. But that's how it does. So now let's see. I'm going to see if this is exported yet. It's at 96%. And now I have it. So let's go and look at it. All right. So I think I click this button to go up there, and here I click this to open it up. So now there's the scene that I just created. And so I can use that for, and here's another background that I was playing with earlier that was kind of, use this for other marketing purposes. So like I'll do like a Instagram post or YouTube thumbnail or whatever. Let's do a YouTube thumbnail. And because I like it because it's wide enough. I'm going to click in here and do this. And it is thinking about it. Boy, I haven't really been using this software today. So anyway, someone close out of this so that you can see what it looks like. All right, so now I've got just basically a blank canvas. I'm not going to use their design for this purpose. I'm going to come up here and do upload. And now I have my downloads that I've downloaded. I can even use the images, like the different MP4s that I created, like the video files. But I'm just going to show you like a picture first, and then that way you can kind of see how that looks. I got to find it, whichever one it was. I think it was this one. Yeah, we'll just use this. Okay. So now it's in here. And I'm just going to click it to put it in the scene. It's weird that it lets you like click it in there before it's already uploaded all the way. But anyways, I'm going to click it over here and do like that. Drag it out a little bit. Maybe do like that. This is where if I had exported the image as the ratio for a YouTube video, this would be a little bit easier. But anyways, now I've got it in here. Now I can add text, like whatever it is. I can add, hold on, not that one. Not that one. I can say Bella Amore class workbook. All right. And then just move it to the side just like that. Ta-da! Now it is just an advertising image. I would actually probably do like this. I would move this over actually, like more like this, and then I would have this be over here, which that's why to some extent Photoshop is better once you get to this point. But if your image isn't the right size for Canva, because Canva's not going to be able to stretch this out really the way that I want to. So, anyways, I would do like this, and then I would probably add like a little circle or something like that that would say like, hey, this class is $2,500 out like that on purposes, just like that. And of course, you want to play with it more to make it perfect. But anyways, I hope you have learned something today. And I will come back with more ideas and more things to teach you. And I'm really excited to have you. So have a good night. Bye-bye.